Creative communities are like unicorns. They're very unique. It's virtually impossible to intentionally develop a creative community. All of the variables were right in St. Petersburg over the past couple of decades for that to happen.
The Warehouse Arts District is a vibrant, creative community. It's more than buildings, it's more than galleries, it's more than studios. It's a hub. It has become a cultural and artistic destination.
You can feel it when you walk the streets of St. Petersburg, that there's a vibrant creative community here.
It's the nucleus for a lot of what's happened in this entire city. It's provided studio space and learning space and a place to show our work.
A place where artists can thrive, can work together, the performing arts, the visual arts.
It's part of our vibe. That's why we say we are St. Pete. We are unique. You can't really recreate the vibe of St. Pete, and the arts is an important driver and part of that.
This is what we're known for. We're not just the beaches. When people come here, they don't want just a beach. People want experiences, and they want to be able to come and be cultured.
Now it is actually one of the go-to places in St. Pete, and so much has changed. The energy of the artists has really changed this part of town. Somebody like Mark Ailing and Duncan McClellan and these artists that have been here for the longest, you know, they've set the framework, they've set the blueprint.
I was in St. Louis and I was breaking up a business partnership and I was moving the studio. So at that point in time, it was like, where do I want to be? And I took about a 3-week period and I drove down the East Coast. And the short story is I fell in love with St. Petersburg. The creative community was very small but present, and the potential was incredible. The district that we now call the Warehouse Arts District, that industrial area, the only existing entity at that point in time was the St. Petersburg Clay Company over at the train station. Barbed wire and chain link is what it looked like. It was a rough part of town.
And it was just an old hump. The floors were rotting wood. There weren't proper windows. There were funny roll-up doors.
The campus for the Warehouse Arts District was the pits. You know, we had a junkyard dog here when we bought it. Not a friendly one either.
It was so bad that people were getting electrocuted, stealing electric wires to recycle them.
I only saw beauty. My neighbors and friends from Tampa went, "You're absolutely nuts."
And then when it was purchased, a whole lot of volunteers came in and built those kilns. Other people were inside the building painting, and they laid floors, and they built special walls.
The first thing that we did was took the fence off front of the property. I should say that's the second thing we did. The first thing we did was put lighting around all the buildings and cameras around all the buildings. And then we took all the fences down to open the property to the neighborhood, to welcome the neighborhood to the property.
I had bought the building in 2009, and it was an old tomato packing plant. I saw the beauty not only in the building, but in the surrounding area.
Duncan's presence really helped solidify the neighborhood, and it led to a number of things that progressed. The biggest being the meeting that happened between Duncan and Rick Baker and Rob Capusta.
What's missing from this neighborhood?
I don't
You
know.
had muffins. We had muffins that day. I mean, where are the muffins, man?
Sorry about that.
So when I was mayor, I had a chance to go to Seattle and Tacoma with Beth Morian, and they were trying to bring a Chihuly collection to St. Petersburg. And so while I was there, I met Dale Chihuly, spent a lot of time with him, and we went and we visited all of his hot shops. And I was very surprised. His hot shops are spread all through Tacoma, Washington area in industrial parks. It's obvious when you think about it, but it wasn't intuitive to me before that. You put the hot shops in areas that are industrial because the zoning will allow you to have fire going on, right? And so it struck me as I was on the plane coming back from Seattle. I thought we really wanted to start an industry, started an industry of art creation. This was more than just showing art or watching art, it's creating art. And I think that's the big difference. And so we were able to get Duncan over here. We stole him away from Tampa. And we had others that were coming. Art was starting to accumulate. It was in that context that Duncan and I sat at this very famous table now and had our muffins and our coffee.
He said that, you have to form the Warehouse Arts District.
I like to come up with names that once you say it, people are going to know where it is.
And I kind of looked at him like, why should I be involved in doing this? I used every penny I already borrowed and put into the building. I really can't do more.
Duncan was very enthusiastic. Duncan's amazing, and he was very enthusiastic. And I assured him it wouldn't take too much time.
He mentioned that it would only take about a year.
And it really took a whole lot of time, but he's okay with that. He picks on me a lot about that, but I think he's okay with that.
It's still an ongoing process, but it's credit to the artists that are involved in making that happen.
That was sort of the seed that was planted that started the Warehouse Arts District Association. As soon as we brought attention to the different entities within the district, the developers started coming. And I remember having a conversation with Rob Kapusta. I said to Rob, I'm frightened to death that the success that the district is having is going to lead to my own demise. And it was Rob who came up with the financial plan.
I knew enough that we should form a 501c3 charitable organization.
He said, there is a way through the 501c3 to purchase the piece of property, and it would be protected by the mission of that.
We saw this location being key to that. We're at the center of gravity, so to speak.
Having the security of having my place here and knowing that it wasn't going to get sold out from underneath me was a game changer.
We wanted to get out in front of it and make sure artists weren't priced out of living and being here.
It changed the game. We have been on a mission of sustainability for the creative community ever since. And that was sort of the catalyst for all of that.
We decided to put a wrapper around it, or a package, and create a district, the Warehouse Arts District. And that was the very beginning.
And a meeting was put together. First meeting had less than a dozen people. I was in attendance, and I had a feeling that it was going to take off. The writing was on the wall, if you cared to look, that this was going to be an explosive event.
All right, guys, welcome aboard the second Saturday trolley provided to you by Star Trolley. This evening, I will be your host. My name is Miss Crit, and this trolley tour takes us on a journey through the Warehouse Arts District. This 122 acres is truly where art is made here in the City of the Arts. As you guys can see, we get another view of our gorgeous Arts Exchange campus. Definitely stop into 7 Seas Music and Coffee, and it looks like we're about to have a performance by Miss Pomerantz's dance students. Out the door side of the trolley, you're going to see a lovely marker here, painted by the artist Zulu Painter. Our second stop of this trolley tour will be the Moran Center for Clay. If you haven't been to Duncan McClellan's, this is a must-see stop. The Arts Exchange campus is truly the heart of the Warehouse Arts District. It is where our original artist, Mark Ailing, first made his studio space way back in 2005. There's Greg, what's up? Second Saturday is just the general public's opportunity to be invited to come into our world, watch the creative process, peep inside artist studios, see what they're working on, see what they're creating. I have a very special and distinct role in that I get to host a trolley tour throughout the Warehouse Arts District.
It's just amazing to be able to walk through and see all these different places, but then you can go in and you can see how they create and where some of these ideas go and turn into something more beautiful.
It's like a festival. It's an incredible experience to be part of, and it has the kind of energy that draws people back.
Musicians that come and play on Art Walk, they're like, that's the funnest show we've played in years, because they're used to playing bars or they're used to people not listening to them. Here, people sit, they clap, they listen intently. It's a performance, not just you're performing in the background. People can come and they can spend a couple hours just right here on the Arts Exchange campus because you've got music. You've got food. I think it's been pretty cool to see it grow from kind of just visual art blooming into a more round arts.
I think the most important thing about any exposure to the arts is to be exposed to all of the arts, because we're integrated in a way that the training and the exposure to all the arts is what makes great art.
To me, it's amazing to not only watch, but participate in this sort of creative growth that the city is going through. The Arts Exchange campus has gone through many different phases of development, in which it's gone from the original tenants, which was Mark Ailing and Softwater Studios, and has expanded to the studios at the Arts Exchange, the Tully Levine Gallery, the Burka Lounge. We've got Miss Pomerantzeff's Dance Studio, we've got Foodie Labs, we've got Seven Seas Music and Coffee. I really think everybody is well represented in that Warehouse Arts District area.
People are hungry to be part of meaningful experiences. These are our marching orders, create meaningful, engaging experiences that make it worthwhile coming out.
Prior to the starting of the district, I was a successful artist in that I was making a living, but I was not thriving. Through taking on the project of the district, it connected me to the fabric of the community in a different way. It changed my perspective.
I think we're a lot closer to coming into our own. We're a lot closer to understanding our purpose in the community. Any nonprofit is only as good as the need that it answers in the community.
I think art is an integral part of the community and society at large. Whatever you're creating, as soon as you create it, it's not yours anymore. right? It's like you kind of give birth to this image or this graphic or this mural, and it becomes in service for everybody else. That's your gift.
It makes you feel alive, it makes you feel connected to something greater than yourself.
For any city to have an arts district, I think it really encourages younger artists and new artists to be able to use their talents and use their gifts and use their abilities to inspire others.
Arts give us a place to express things that we might not be able to say. The hurricane is a really good example of what arts do for you. Many of our kids lost their homes in the hurricanes, and it was necessary for the kids to be here to talk to each other, to share experiences, and then dance out their fears and their worries about the future and where were they going to live and where were they going to get dance clothes and how were they going to perform Nutcracker. Arts is a place that grounds us as human beings and allows us to share things in a way that regular conversation doesn't happen.
When you put energy out, it comes back to you. And pardon me. These kinds of topics make me emotional. The community gives back to you, and that's something that I didn't have an understanding of until I experienced it, and it's been incredibly rewarding.
I believe that the Warehouse Arts District will grow over the next 5-10 years and bloom into something even bigger than it is now. St. Pete will be known. When you come here, you need to come to the Warehouse Arts District to see music, to see art, to see studios and galleries and performances.
I'm excited for the future. I mean, I hope to be a part of it, but I see it activating the Pinellas Trail like many other cities have done, but it will be this vibrant neighborhood where people want to live.
I want teachers and parents to want their kids to be able to come here and be infused with this art, the sensation of art energy, and I know it's possible because the energy is already here.
I hope it grows as a learning place for everyone.
There aren't very many places where kids can reach out for the arts unless it's an after-school program. And here I think we could really be the center to make that happen.
My hope is that 10 years from now, this is going to be an internationally recognized entertainment district that has arts at its core.
The Warehouse Arts District, the City of the Arts, this is so much bigger than one individual. It is so much bigger than one moment, one art party, one warehouse. This is about creating something that is for everybody for many, many generations to come.
My grandparents grew up just a few blocks from here. I remember Geach's barbecue, so you need to ask an old schooler about Geach's barbecue, mustard-based barbecue sauce, right here on the Deuces. I saw businesses here on the Deuces. I saw a community here on the Deuces. History is always important, so having a great understanding of the history of an area, of the contributions, in some cases the sacrifices of a community, help us to build on a solid and equitable foundation going forward. So as water emerges and intersects with the Deuces. It's important to understand the history of the Deuces, what's important to the community that was here before, and be true to the promises of equitable development as our area changes. We are at the Manhattan Casino, an iconic facility here on the Deuces on 22nd Street South. It is 100 years old, built in 1925. And in our history, when our city was segregated, it was one of the main places for entertainment. Some of the greatest entertainers of the day, from James Brown to Duke Ellington to Billie Holiday, performed right here. Now we want to restore that to a real community facility, an event space that is city-owned, and it is available to the community at very reasonable rates, and we're looking forward to making that happen, hopefully next year early. The development is happening all along this corridor, and having to revitalize Manhattan right in the middle of that is going to be very exciting.
Tonight is really about your voices. It's about hearing about what your vision for the Deuces corridor is.
I learned about the Voices of the Corridor and the Joint Action Plan from Mark Ailing. Those Voices of the Corridor meetings were really essential because it was where we could say, hey, these are still needs that we have in our community. We need to fix our sidewalks. They're trip hazard. We need more lighting on the trail. Lighting is what keeps people safe. It's what's going to give people confidence in walking the trail in the evenings.
Pet project for me, I reached out to all of the property owners along the trail from 20th to 24th and got buy-in to put lighting on their buildings. We were going to illuminate the trail, and we put that forward to the city as a public-private partnership. And they liked the idea. That illumination of the trail has really been a game changer. The portion between 24th, where the first phase stopped, and 28th needs to be illuminated. The city is now working towards that goal. That will be a huge game changer because it'll connect the district through that alternative mode of transportation all the way from 28th down to 20th. And then that will be carried all the way downtown, it's huge.
We are big on community conversations, going out and listening to the community, hearing what they want to see. The responses were what we normally hear. They want connections, they want pedestrian access, they want a safe community, they want public meeting spaces, and of course, affordable housing as always.
The story goes like this, and it happens all over the world. Artists move into rundown parts of town, and their creative energy attracts attention. That attention brings development, development drives up prices, and the artists get pushed out. You can see it happening right now. The creative community, it's on the back end of that blossom, and without intentional energy, it's going to fade. Artists are starting to leave. It's getting too expensive.
Oh, there's much more work to be done. One of the big issues in today's economy is affordability. St. Petersburg has lost a number of artists because we've become unaffordable. One of our goals is to provide or somehow arrange for affordable housing for artists.
We've got a chunk of property that's undeveloped, and we're putting together a proposal to build approximately 50 live-work spaces on that property. That would guarantee that there's always a place for artists to live as well as work.
Most recently, we have seen the rise of housing costs here. You might have a very affordable studio here at the Arts Exchange, but if you need to commute here for 45 minutes, an hour and a half, the equation doesn't work anymore, right? So we have a piece of property that we're looking to develop, and we said, okay, if this is our core mission, creating a sustainable environment, a logical step to that would be looking into workforce housing for artists.
If you want creative energy and environment in your surroundings, you have to value that and put energy into it as a community. The community has to give that gift to keep that flower of the creative community alive. Otherwise, it's going to disperse and dissipate.
It's a central focus of our administration to add as much affordable housing as we can. We have a plan through 2030 to add 9,000 affordable units, and we do that every day. We have the Deuces Rising Townhomes right across the street, which will be 24 units, with half of those units affordable to folks making 80% AMI and below for home ownership, which is really important. As you move down the road, you have Heritage Grove, which council just approved, which is 54 units of affordable apartments, all affordable. And then as you move further south to 18th, we have another exciting project called Pelican Place with Habitat for Humanity, which will be another, I think, about 44 home ownership opportunities, again, for folks making about 80% area median income. We don't want to drive out the very things that made St. Pete so special in the first place. And so we're kind of trying to counter that market dynamic of raising rents and prices. And it's places where we can invest in affordable commercial space, and space where folks who are part of our arts community, part of our entrepreneurial community, can really afford to stay in St. Pete and not have to leave.
It's not just about us having places to be creative, but ensuring that we have a space for creativity for generations to come.
There is something special here. Sustainability is the one word that always comes up in my mind when I think about this topic. It's trying to keep that magic unicorn here, keep it present. There are many who have already given up. I love it here, and I don't want to do that. I see a way to create an opportunity for it to persist. So that's what I'm fighting for.